Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday, guys. I thought I'd jump on really quick to talk about Book Boyfriends. This book dragged and dragged and dragged in sales. Now I'm getting calls. Everybody wants the book. They want the signed copy. I want the signed copy. I want the signed copy. I want the hardback or the paperback because I gave I gave out 5 or 6 books to random people, friends, and families. That's T'Challa, guys. My Huskies, they do what they want to do. They own the house. But that said, I'm sorry about that. But that said, Ignited Bones Operation Moonlight Edition, I told everyone in the beginning that this book was filled with fire, passion, drama, and heat, the kind of drama we love to read about. It is a wonderful read. And I mean, let me get my glasses, I'm sorry. Today is a definite work day for me, so I'm so crazy behind the back. And what I love about the cover, let me tell you guys about the cover model. The cover model is a former Chippendale entertainer turned um, documentary director, real genuine movie director. So that's the luck of the draw. He gave me this picture in 2007 to motivate me to write my books. And how wonderful is that? And now it's taking off. I told readers, I said, readers, let me tell you something about Ignited Bones. I'm sorry, my phone's clicking. I gotta have it on. But that said, and we're live, so anything can happen during lives. But that said, I can't, I can't stand this. This irritates me. I just have a thing behind my ears. I'm sorry. That said, I told readers and other writers who love to read books by other authors, Ignited Bones, Operation Moonlight is both, it's a military romantic suspense slash noir. It's a film and a book. The first chapter of Ignited Bones was co-written by Bob Burton. Bob Burton is a Marvel DC comic. Um, um, what do you call those? You know, I get brain fog. He does DC comics, comic books, comic book characters, duh. And he co-wrote the first chapter with me. That's why it reads like a film, a movie, an action film. But it's not all military. All military. Yes, we touch on PTSD, but the main character is Major Glenn. So it we have to tell the tale about his history, what makes him feel the way he feels about Save Land, how he and Lord Foxington, how Lord Foxington and the female character in this book, Sable Land, had broken up years ago. Years ago. That's the train. I live in the country. I can't help it. The door is open today. It's too beautiful not to. I'm sorry, I digress. But that said, what chances? I would say a 20 to 1 chance that you're sitting in the Chicago Sky Club. You had a business deal that just went all to shambles and you couldn't wait to get back home. You're sitting, you go to the bar for a drink to relax and regroup. And you turn around, and to shock and awe, there's Lord Foxington. So now the plot thickens. Not only did it twist, it thickens, especially with Lord Foxington. So now Major Glenn has a rival. And I tell you, let me tell you this. I'm going to say this. Spoiler alert. That um, W Hotel presidential suite scene where his mom crashes, her ladyship crashes the party, it's something. It's very powerful. Stella Ann races off. She's just beside herself with anger and bitterness and just totally combobulated emotionally. That's the best way to tell it. The plane, the red eye plane, is delayed going into Atlanta because they're waiting on Sable Land, because in the back of the plane is the paparazzi, because they're angry. They're angry, and so the flight attendants are angry at the expose that they wrote. So they put all the paparazzi goons in the back. So, and from there, the story takes off by itself. And you will have different scenes with Major Glenn. The the interaction between Sable Land and Major Glenn is so riveting and powerful. It's unreal. I think her interaction with oh sorry, her interaction with Lord Foxington, it, it's different. They meet on a more, to me, they meet more on a psychological level, on a more uh, neediness. There's a neediness between them that'll touch your heart, but you readers will understand it. We will understand it. It's very powerful. Very There's a great deal of engagement. I'm sorry, T'Challa doesn't know what he wants to do today, but he ain't getting no snacks. They snacked all morning. But that said, you have not only one but two wonderfully powerful book boyfriends. Wow. Pow, 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 pow. Or how they say, ping, 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 ping. Ping, 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 ping. But I wanted to write a book that was different. This book is different. And how the two gentlemen rally around Sable Ann is amazing. So that said, I'm sorry, this hand hurts. It hurt like a bitch. But it's really, I'll put it this way, readers will find that Southern gentlemen, they love differently. Soldiers, especially soldiers from the South, they love differently. They do. There's a certain tranquility to their approach and the way they close the deal when they find the woman of their dreams, the woman they want to be with. There, I think for me in the book as I was writing, I felt that the um, all things conservatory, the observation deck. That scene, even it's very, very four, four chilies, chili peppers, four chili peppers, four chili peppers. I think that's the first four chili pepper scene. The other scenes, I believe, or intimate scenes or spicy scenes, were more three. Uh, I'd say two and a half, three chili peppers. And the scene in the presidential suite, 4 point, no, 3.5 to 4 chili peppers. Leave it at that. The rest of the scenes, definitely 4.5. In this book, it is so powerful and riveting. It is very different, but I give you the charm. I give you the emotional. You will feel the emotion. There are some tear jerking, very tear jerking moments. Now the end. Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Trigger warning. I had a beta years ago when Ignited Bones first released and launched. She read the book, loved the book, hated the end because there was a conflict with her religious beliefs. I don't know everybody's religious belief. It wasn't intentional. It just happened that way. I, these are books. These are not my college thesis. This is not a thesis. Or, you know, we write what we feel that will stir the emotions of the reader because we're trying to give readers that experience. You want that experience, you're going to get those with my books. They're going to rattle your nerve one way or the other. But that's what books are supposed to do. And it is a great read. This is a full, I would say this is a short novel. It's not a novella at all. Not at all. Beautifully formatted. It's just a gorgeous book. Because I believe that Terry A. Wilson did the formatting for the book, and if you ever want anything elegantly formatted, she's the one. I mean, look at that. It's just beautiful. Oh, love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And I love the way we wrote it, and the way Bob Burden starts the book off. Operation Moonlight, under a crisp cold sky filled with twinkling endless stars, military aircraft of American and Russian forces were locked in a blazing firefight over the Italian Alps. In the midst of it was the prize, a medevac helicopter packed to the nines with wounded Dark Ops members, and of course, 3 dead soldiers. Of the dead were Master Sergeant Graves, Colonel Pichet, and Lieutenant McDaniel. Oh, holy hell. And that's the way the book starts. It is amazing. It's a great, great read. I think it's maybe a 4 or 5 hour read, so it will take you a couple of days. But if you want a great winter read, well, I believe this is just a great book any time of year. But this time of year, there's not much going on in January. It's a great time to cuddle up with books, especially with authors you usually don't purchase books from. Because I'm telling you, if you like book boyfriends, Major Glenn and Lord Foxington. Lord James Foxington, they're the best. And of course, as usual, these books are based on actual events. I know the characters, I know them well. And I would tell them whenever something happened major, in their lives, I would say, I'm gonna write this story. I'm going to write your story. And they would get tickled pink. Go right ahead, go right ahead, go right, especially Major Glenn. That boy out of University of Georgia, Bulldog, he was Bulldog all the way. Southern gent, Southern gent. James, Lord Foxington, James was out of Mount, the Mount Pleasant area, the Portion, Mount Pleasant area in South Carolina, outside of Charleston. His family's from Charleston, but his dad is English, and he was allegedly some type of lord or something or another. So that's why I call him Lord Foxington. Bastard children or not, it doesn't matter. You refer to your mama as her ladyship. And when I met her one time, it was interesting. She said, "You are a friend of James?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." I know him. I don't know him well, but I know him. She was very lovely, lovely, and intriguing lady. Come sit by me. Come talk to me. I'm having coffee. Come sit with me. "Mm, what about the other girl?" She said, "But I asked you." "Oh, okay. Okay. Moving right away, your ladyship. Dainty, little short something. A little mini Queen Elizabeth is what she was. It was just meeting them was so enlightening because all the preconceived notions that I had were totally obliterated. And I have to admit, I had a few prejudices. I think, well, I won't say prejudice against the rich, but we have to be careful how much information we take in about others, people we don't know, people we don't understand. Make sure you get to the truth, the real truth, and not the truth that somebody tells you. I learned that lesson the hardest way of all when I was in Charleston or Mount Pleasant because everyone was so pleasant to me, with the exception of one, which I expected, which was Lord Foxington's ex-wife. Of course, he's not going to be pleased with me, especially not back then. But because his mom, she kept rubbing my face, telling me, your skin is so smooth. And I said, "Ma'am, work, I rep for a skincare line, one of the best in the world, and that's why I wear their products. That's why." And when I told her my age, she really did a double take. She literally dropped that coffee cup because she's very much in your face. She doesn't care what she asks. She's not being facetious. She's just that type. She's curious about something. She's going to ask you. Period. And she expects an answer, not a BS answer, because she'll tell you, "Darling, don't think too long." Oh, ouch! That hurt. Just don't tell me what you feel is right. say what you feel. And I said, well, I'm just trying to respect. She was like, honey, if he brought you here to meet me, you're okay. Oh, God. I guess so. I'm like, you put me in a hot seat, boy. We're going to have a conversation after this is over with. I'm putting this all in the book. I swear it. But James was, James, total brilliant mind, total rape. If you want to know the type of character Lord Foxington is, watch the show The Gilded Age. And the son of, I guess, the lady they're imitating the Vanderbilts. I can't think of her name. I can't keep up with that. I have brain fog. I can barely keep up with these pens and all this. But that said, his son, who loves architecture, James, could design and build any. He designed his mom's house. Well, that wasn't house, castle to me. But that said, any structure, he just loved it. Period. But that's the type of gentleman he was. So here you have Sable and Lord Foxington connecting in the most unthinkable. What were the chances that they would meet up in the same Sky Club? And then situations happened that brought them together. Sorry, I'm not spoiling that. So now you have these, here we go again, sliding dichotomies, where the character arcs are starting to do this, but where Lord Foxington and Major Glenn are concerned, they are this. Major Glenn, Z, maximum range 0. So, but with Major Glenn, Glenn always, he angst us all because he just felt he was a bulldozer. He was the bull in the china shop when he wanted to be. But he is the man you want on that wall saving the country. He was an absolute phenomenal leader. And he didn't love often, but when Glenn loved, he dove in feet first. He didn't dive like the rest. He just went feet first. He's all in, and he is quite the protector. Period. I remember being disrespected at a restaurant, a seafood restaurant that was so popular in Atlanta, Georgia. But the staff, or I don't know what was wrong with that waitress. And Glenn, Major Glenn, turned to her and he asked her to come back. He said, "Come, can you come back, please? Come back, please." He said, "What is the difference between her and me, other than her color?" And the girl was looking at him bizarre and crazy. He said, "Because why are you slamming her food on the table and literally tossing her little towelettes or whatever they have for, because the seafood came in a bucket." And he told her, he said, "This ain't the color purple." I said, "Hell no." Just as loud, the place was packed. He did not care. Glenn said, "Do not disrespect her in my presence." He said, "I want a manager now. I do not want a supervisor. I want the general manager. And I am not playing." And he meant that. He meant it with all his heart. I'm sitting there as if I were a queen, period. But he was the one, Glenn was the one who started calling me Duchess. He would say, "This is my Duchess. This is my Duchess." I would say it here and there, but he just made it clear and plain. This is the Duchess. This is the power behind my throne. I'm like, I am not the power behind his throne. Okay, that is for whatever girl you hooked up with or whatever. He was like, no, no, you know exactly what I mean. I'm like, Glenn, I can't do you. I cannot do you. I don't have what it takes to do you. I don't have the right armor to do you. I would say that. But he was very charming. There, Major Glenn was the, but now football season, we literally go for blows. Because, I'm coming with Auburn, Florida State, some HBC colors sometime. And here he comes with that damn red and black Georgia Bulldogs. And so we're literally, blah, 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 blah. I remember when they lost to Auburn. I drove, I drove an hour and a half just to put it in his face. He said, "You're gonna write about that?" I'm like, "No, I'm not. But I'm gonna tell everybody." I said, "Because they won. It was in 2014. Oh my god. Oh my god. They lost." But you just have to understand that between us. But as I tell readers and tell everyone, these are characters I know and have interacted with. So you gotta sorry. Oh, you sometimes you just never know when that's going to hit. It serves me right for making fun of Glenn because he's a sweetheart. Yes, y'all. That shit hurts. It shoots all the way down fucking leg at the wrong time. I'm sorry, total potty mouth here. But that said, guys, I'm telling you, get the book, get the book, get the book. If if you want to understand my writing style, it's different. When it comes to writing passion and spicy, steamy scenes, think of Anise Nin because I write in her style. Hemingway, his style. I love his style. And I also have just a style of my own. And I'm really, my mentor, Bob Burden, I'm really picking up a lot of tips from him. And if you look at my books, you can tell that arc is going this way and this way and this way, which is the way it should go. And he was the one who told me that it appears to him that I'm more comfortable in short story novels because, everyone tells me the same thing. I'm very matter of fact. And some people feel offended by that. I'm just a matter of fact. I've never been a fruit kind of girl. I was always a tomboy. And I was bullied all through my elementary years. I'm talking first through eighth grade, especially in those military schools for children. We were terribly, terribly bullied in Maryland. Uh, Germany, not so much. Had a lot of respect for my teacher in Germany, but of course, back then I had a very thick accent. Was sort of foreign, and when you're in the South, sometimes, especially integrated schools where the teachers are not so integrated, there's a lot of bullying. I was in Catholic school. My mom had to pull us out. There were only two of us, a young man of color and myself. And that nun used to crack the hell out of the back of my hands until he got a phone call from my father's colonel and my mom. And I guess the archdiocese sent one of the, he was, I think the cardinals wear the red. He was high up. He was next, almost, to the Pope, I guess. I'm not Catholic, I don't know. I believe he was a cardinal because he had the funny beanie hat. He disappeared in a class out of nowhere. And I don't know what was said in that hallway, but we were brought from the back to the front, period. Which should have, because my parents, they didn't pay in increments. My dad and my parents paid for my education up front. And I didn't take the bus. This young man and I, we took the taxis because the buses, we were too afraid to get on the buses. So, but in the end, my mom, she just had enough and she pulled us out. But now, when I was in elementary school, I'm talking fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth, I was bullied terribly. I was bullied for being a tomboy. I was even bullied for having two parents, coming from a two parent home. And because we weren't allowed to hang out and do things like other children, my father was strict. I don't, I gotta go. It's not about I ain't worried about those street lights. I got to go. My father say the minute you see your shadow, you better be heading home or inside. Okay, I see my shadow. I gotta go. And I'm sorry. You gotta get another partner for double dutch, not me. And kids would make fun of that. A lot of events we weren't able to go to, but we spent a great deal of time. I'm grateful now for that type of discipline because we had to sit inside reading childcraft. We would had all these encyclopedias, childcraft. I don't know, I'm a baby boomer, but we came up in the childcraft era. So we would just read the books and nursery rhymes and the books about science, the whole nine yards. And it was a great, great adventure. Whenever we did our homework, my mom would turn on, we called it, why are you playing that crazy music? It was classical music. And I came to love classical music thanks to the program that they had. Access to Excellence is what it was called. It was for third, fourth, fifth, and sixth graders in the greater Chicago era, area. And what that meant was every week those grades went on a field trip. I'm talking one of the best field trips I've ever gone on I was a fifth grader was to see the Chicago Symphony, and they did the Nutcracker, and we had to wear all black, white tights, um, Mary Jane shoes, which the school provided for needy children who could. My parents, we didn't qualify, but I didn't. My parents could afford it. But we went on that trip, and we sat up front. And, I can't begin to tell you the impact those trips had on us, especially seeing the Nutcracker and with the cast coming. to talk with us and sit with us and laugh with us. We were just little fifth graders. Can you imagine sitting in a symphony at fifth grade on the floor at the very front? It was something. I will never forget that experience at all. And we went to the Nabisco Cookie Factory. We went to the Ford plant. I actually met Lee Iacocca. So we went to so many places. The Field Museum, the Museum of Science and Industry. Oh my God, the Adler Planetarium, and we saw the whole star show. Those experiences changed my life. Bullied or not, it changed my life. But once I got into high school, all of that changed because I'm 5'10". I was 5'10". I was tall. I ran track, and I was speeding. I ran. I could run. Could run, run, run. I ran all my life, and I loved it. I ran. I played golf. I was on a golf team. They didn't have a girls team, so I played with the guys, and I beat the brakes off of them, and I loved that. That was amazing for me. That's why I'm able, when I write, I'm not pulling things from anybody else, anywhere else. I may see things that motivate me, or sometimes I play music to motivate me, and I'll hear something, and boom, I'm writing. I have a million notes. But that said, it was those experiences that changed my life. Having grown up with everything, but I'm a champion of anti-bullying because I don't believe in bullying anybody because I was bullied. I mean, one boy, he was so cruel, and teachers too. Teachers are some of those teachers need to be scrutinized, scrutinized, scrutinized because some of them are just bad apples. I had a teacher. She did not like my mom. She did not like me. She felt that my mother was, controlling. Yeah, I'm a child. She's supposed to control me. But that said, she got angry, went to the principal, told him I was a problem child, yada, yada, yada. They put me in special education. For real. The special education teacher said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I don't know. Ms. Landry put me here." But Miss Landry was this snooty, snooty, hoity-toity. She was light skinned, and she would always call us, "You ignoramuses." And we were like, I have a name. Don't call me that. And my mother warned her not to call me that. But she did what she wanted to do. And because now all the kids, because this was a magnet school, all the children that came from well-to-do homes, or what she called well-to-do homes, all the pretty children, I put it that way, they got great grades. She was praising them or whatever. So the teacher over special education, she said, "You do not belong here." And so I finally broke down after 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, and told my mom what had happened. My father almost choked me to death because I didn't tell them up front. I was just too afraid to deal with it. And my mama grabbed my sister in the dead of winter in the snow, rode downtown to the Chicago Board of Education, the Board of Education for the state. And she said, "If you do not fix this," she said, "my husband just got finished serving his country. You are not going to treat our children like this." And she meant it. My mother she'll tell you that story over and over. She did. Tell you what, They called that principal. They sent somebody, I don't know who they sent from the Board of Education, but they sent him to the principal of that school. That principal was removed 3 days later. Miss Landry, they took her and pulled her from her classroom, and she could only teach art. She had a choice: teach art or get out. Period. They tested us all, everyone in that class. They pulled me out of that class and put me in Mr. Bartlett's class. Mr. Bartlett had the highest eighth grade class in the entire school, and this was a magnet school. I tested that high. And thanks to Mr. Bartlett, because I developed a love of science under him that I never let go of. I love anything science. I'm all in. But this is just to say, when I write from a body of experience. At 60 years old, I'm writing from experience, things I've seen, from my heart, things I know. And yeah, some of my books, they have a great deal of 25-cent words, but ladies and gentlemen, I write the way I speak. I mean, not the way I speak when I'm doing videos or conferencing with you guys. When I'm dealing with people and we're in conversation, that is the type of conversation I have, even with my son, my daughter, etc. And it's not on purpose, it's just a habit from over the years. I work corporate level, so of course my mindset's there, period. Not to say I'm better than anybody else or whatever, because people say, all these 25-cent words in your book. I don't consider them 25-cent words, it's just the way I write. Even with, for instance, Passage from Decadence, and I want to make this clear, not to segue. Passage from Decadence is in, I call it an urban Renaissance fiction book. And here's the reason why. Not all urban fiction is bang bang shoot 'em up, hooking up with a thug, etc., etc., etc. That's more, to me. That's more street lit. Urban fiction is changing. There's a renaissance going on. Think about it. With all the regentrification going on, urban areas are going through a I mean, I'm talking a serious change of scenery. I put it that way. That's the best way I can put it. And when you have this type of change, this cataclysm, people, they're coming from all over the world into our area. And now I don't have to go to Atlanta because Atlanta has come to us. They're moving down here. They're building as I speak. That's not, no, my door's open. I'm sorry. But we're country with Southerners. That's the way we are. I'm sorry. But that said, all of these experiences I put in the books. And I will continue to put in the books. Because my next release, I have two releases coming soon. And I'll say this: Untold Wants is a very tender, passionate love story. But it can be, I would say, it's multi genre, and one of those genres is going to be urban Renaissance fiction. And because we're going through what New York went through with regentrification, and everybody's coming here. I don't know what it is about this area. I don't think we could fit anybody else here. But all these experiences goes into my writing. Excuse me, they say truth is stranger than fiction, but I'm sorry, that's how it is. I wish they would just come up with something to stop this stuff, this pain. But I love to write. I live to write. I don't write to live. Mm-mm. Writing is my passion. I've always wanted to be a writer since I was a little girl. And short stories are my wheelhouse. That's where I'm comfortable. Not because they're just short stories, because you can get straight to the point. You Short stories are the future. It's like YouTube is the future. I'm telling you. You have more creators on YouTube than Instagram and TikTok combined. This goes out globally. And what I like about YouTube is YouTube's going to give you a wider reach. And so you're not caught in the crazy algorithms. And that's called freedom and opportunity. The opportunity is endless here. And that's why I'm speaking to you guys more and recording more so that you guys can get to know me as an author, become comfortable and understand why I write the way I write and how I feel about this literary world that we're in. There's opportunity for everyone. Romance, the romance genres can blow away nonfiction if we all come together and we support each other. Be humble and be nice to one another. Period. With that said, I'm going to leave you guys with that. And I told you I have a very rich history. And I'm not afraid to talk about it because I'm very proud of it. And authors need to be more open with readers. Because the more open we are with our readers and interested readers, the more intrigued they're going to be to read our bodies of work, period. And my books will make you think. You will clutch your pearls. You will clutch your precious pearls or pull them off and throw them across the room. I kid you not. And wait until we finish writing Mr. You Can Have Whatever You Like coming out in February. Spoiler alert. I'm so excited about that. And okay, guys, look, listen. Please let us not get too political, but I am coming out with the Blue Republican. We thought about changing the name, because of this political climate, but we cannot allow this political climate to infringe on our talents and our desires to write what we want to write. Freedom of speech is freedom of speech. That includes books. But that said, I am going to write because we're halfway through the manuscript. Anyway, I have about 30 manuscripts, a few ready to go, and the others 55 to 75% written already. I just have to, I'm meticulous about the endings, how I want to go with the ending. But I am going to do the Blue Republican because he was something. He was a charmer. And the reason I know that is because I dated him. And I always called him the Blue Republican. But me, I'm stubborn. I don't. Back then, I was a terrible commitment phobe. So it did not work because I don't want to be tied down to anybody. And I was working. I had, my own place, my own jobs. I didn't need, I wasn't needy. And I mean, I'm not needy now. Just physically, there are things I cannot do. But I told him, Stephen, I'm going to write your story, like it or not. And he was like, it's okay, just be gentle with me. Not a chance. I'm going to tell all your secrets, except for the ones that need to be hidden, except for the ones we locked away. But he's a sweet guy. But I think you guys are going to love that. And El the Ball is coming. We, with all the new rules with Amazon, we had to go back and fix so much stuff. Certain words, certain phrases. I'm like, that's a spy phrase. But I'm making the changes to the end and getting it out. But once we get it out as a short story novel, it's still going to be powerful. And the sequel, The Iron Gazelle, then the sequel to that will be The Iron Magnolia. All of that is coming out this year. We're just stair stepping everything, and with my hand and everything, because I will have to, I'm right handed. I'll have to have surgery. So we're getting everything out, boom, fast and quick as we can. I had to book all my editors, all my formatters throughout the year already. And I'm such a freaking procrastinator. I procrastinate everything because I just don't feel like dealing with crap sometimes. And I'm booked all the way through the summer, and we've been busy. On the other night, I'm on the phone with Mary till 1:27 in the morning, going over, having to rewrite Untold Wands and going through it. So we're going to get everything out. Bear with us. But you guys pay attention to, I'm posting those trailers for a reason. My trailers tell you a story. Just watch them closely. They're telling you a story because I write them from the book. I can't believe hubby's calling. Sorry. I can't believe that people are not putting together the fact that this trailer is like the book. The book is going to go this way. The characters are not here just for a show or whatever. It's just interesting. But that said, I just find it intriguing, and I think you guys will too. And you'll get to know my style of writing and know me better as an author and say, wow, her work is really great. Because the driver that I brought my son home the other day, that I gave her a book, my son was like, my mom's a writer, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, baby, okay, I'll go run downstairs and get a book. I got the book, signed it, gave her the blanket, all the goodies that went with it. She called me back and said, I've been sharing this with my friends and wanted to know what else I had. I said, well, I have what I would call an urban Renaissance fiction. She was like, those are the kind of books that we want to read. And so I'm preparing, I have to prepare 3 books and all the goodies for her and her friends. I don't mind giving those away because in the end, her group, they're all from Africa. It's about 70 or 80 of them. Deal closed. That's marketing 101. But that said, and we as authors, we writing is our business. That said, Lean Six Sigma. Um, Lean Six Sigma. Giving away those books are called lost leaders. That is a lost leader because you're giving it away for your business. That is an automatic write off. Keep that in mind for those who don't know. But that said, guys, have a great Sunday. Thank you for listening to me rant and rave. And I'm all over the place. I'm going to always be all over the place. But I love chatting it up with you guys and want you guys to get to know me. Not what you heard, what you feel. People say all kinds of crazy things, things that they don't know, or heard somebody say something. Get to know me as a person, as the author, writer, and person. I'm a very giving person. I'm a good person, and I love people. I love company. I don't like crowds. I'm very nervous in crowds. I never sit with my back to the door. I have to face the door. I'm just funny about a lot of things. So that said, whew, I'm saying whew because I'm in pain. I'm hurting so bad. Yet. But I love you guys and thank you so much. And Lord have mercy again, again, again. Best book boyfriend ever. And Brian is just the boy next door. He's a sweetie and a hottie, but he's mostly a sweetie. So that said, ladies and gentlemen, get the book, get the book, get the book, get the book. You're going to love it. If you are a lover of steamy and fiery scenes, this book has it all and it delivers, especially the ending of that book. So, love you guys. Bless and thank you for the follows. Please tell your friends. Follow me on my channel because I'm going to be here more than anywhere else. That said, God bless you. Stay safe. Watch the weather. Watch everything. And please, we caught the flu 3 or 4 times. Please, please, please get your flu shot. Get your boosters. Get whatever you need because let me tell you something. It took 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I say 3.5, maybe 4 weeks for us to heal and get rid of that bug. It's something. I don't know what type of flu. That was the flu from hell, is what that was. Because it is extremely debilitating and catchy, very catchy. I don't care how much Pine Sol, Lysol, bleach you put down. Once it's airborne, it's airborne. It's in the ventilation system, so we had to have somebody come out and fix that because there's a way you can clean your have clean air, and it's not cheap. So that said, buy the book, buy the book, buy the book, guys. I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm a joker. I joke about every damn thing. But have a good Sunday. Have a safe Sunday. And guys, stay in touch. I love you, and we'll talk and chat soon. Bye bye.